In this video, we're going to focus on creating a clickable tooltip where we will pin the position of it as well. Of course, we're not fully done here. We want to make sure that these are clickable and showing and hiding them, but also later on we'll fine tune them more and more. So let's start to look how to do this. So to do this, the first thing what we need is, of course, our border template, which you can find here on chartjs3.com. Getting started. Once you're on here, copy this chunk of code and you're good to go. Next, if you want to have the source code of this video and many others, check out my Patreon page. And of course, got a question, put it on Discord. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a lot of stuff in here, and probably will be multiple parts. So the first thing is, let's convert this into a line chart that was related to the question, and I will do some adjustments here. So we're going to do some basic adjustments on the tooltip. So basically what I want to do is here that when I hover over it, and let's add up first another data set. Let's copy all of this, comma, paste, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Save, refresh. All right, there we are. What I want to do, of course, is show both of them or both tooltip items at the same time. So what I'm going to do here, interaction, and then in the interaction here I'm going to put in the mode, and that will be the index. So basically when we hover on the index, we'll see all the items. Let's save that, refresh, and now if I hover over the index, you'll see the items, but I want to make sure as well that we don't intersect, because intersect would be when we hover on this item. So what I'm going to do here, comma, I'm going to say plugins, and then go into the tooltip plugin. As plugins, yeah, there we are, and then tooltip. In the tooltip, we're going to say the following. First of all, I'm going to say here intersect. Set this on false. So now if I save this, refresh. There we are. You can see now we're always showing it here. And then what I will do here is a few things that will be important later on, at least so you have a clear understanding where I get these numbers from, which is we're going to say here the corner radius, which is number 6. This is the default value. I just leave them in here so you have them. You don't have to put them in there, but I use this later on. I will reference to them. Basically, the caret size and the corner radius is basically, you can see here the border radius of the tooltip, and the caret is this triangle here. What I would like to do is as well that we point this downwards so that the cloud will be up and the caret will be pointing down. So I'm going to say here the following. Put a comma, y align, and set this on bottom, pointing southwards basically. There we are. Now it's always up and we have everything out. So what I want to do now is, because this is the request here, is when you click on it, can you pin it? The answer is not by default, right? Look at this. If I move the tooltip, it is not possible because this is basically one tooltip that's being moving away. So there's not multiple tooltips. What I need to do here is to create an artificial copy of the tooltip, and then we can pin them nicely. So we're going to do that right away. I'm going to say comma here, and I'm going to say here plugin, and let's say here this is an array. We'll call this the always show tooltip. Very straightforward, nothing fancy. Constant, this, and the ID will be this. And then I'm going to say here, well, I have to work here on when are we going to draw the tooltip. I want to make sure that the tooltip will always be on top of the data set. So we're going to say here, after the data set has been drawn, we are going to draw these items or these tooltips, these artificial tooltips. So we have this. Next, what we need to do is we're going to work with what we call an after event, because we want the click event to trigger the drawing and then do something, and that is what we call an after event. So what I'm going to do here, put a comma, and I'm going to put in another one which is called the after event. With the after event, we have the same items, chart, arcs, and I'm not sure plugins. I think there could be, but I'll just leave it as it is. Well, I just added in there, but probably this one is not even necessary. What is important is the arguments, because now we are able to track the event, and with this args we can access those events. For example, the mouse movement, the clicks, etc, etc. So that's very important. We're going to use now. So the first thing what I want to do then is just show you what I'm going to do, or at least show you what we're going to use in here. So what I'm going to say here is, for this I'm going to use the scales definitely, and we're going to get here probably X and Y scale, and this will be from the chart object. Next, what I want to do, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek into this, it's the args, because this is an item that I don't use very often, so probably you will not see this quite often in my videos. So that's why having this event here, as you can see here, what it shows, now this triggers the mouse move event. I want to have eventually a click event. If I click this, somewhere here we probably will find a click event, maybe here. There we are, click event, and you can see here with the click event we get the X and Y coordinates. Very useful for us if we want to use them. I might use some of them, but probably later on we will move on to different strategies. But what I do want is this type, the click, so we know that this is the only event I want to track. So let's start to do that right now. So what I'm going to do here is, well, let's see here, we're going to create an if statement. That's the first one. And then we can say here for the args dot event, and then we can say here dot x. That's the one we have. And then we're going to say here if this will be equal strict to click. In that case, what I would like to do is do something, and then let's do here console log. You can say here this is of course not what I want, the X. I want to have the type. What is the event type? That's click. And then what we could do is here, just for now, put in here an X. Save that, refresh. Alright, so we get this click, click, click. You can see here the numbers. Let's hide this argument here. We don't need that one. Click, click, click. There we are. Now we have all the X coordinates. We could do the same for the Y coordinates, but I will not use that, so that's alright. So what I want to do here is the following. I want to work now with hoisting, because what I need to do here is once we click here something, I want to draw something here, and what I'm going to draw is I need to draw these tooltips. But how do I know if something is clicked, and if you click it again it will be removed? So what I'm going to do is that these items here, every time we click we give it a number, and right now I'm using the category scale. So this works with a category scale. I will probably make other videos specifically for different type of scales. However, this category scale would mean that this here is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. Very straightforward. These are numbers converted into a text value. So that means we have an array of 7 items depending on how many data we have or data points we have. In this case 7, so that's it. So what I'm going to do here is, let's do here a let value. This is called hoisting. We're going to hoist the value, and hoisting basically means it's like when you have a flag on a flagpole and you want to push it up, you pull it up, you hoist the flag up or down. In this case we're going to pull it up, we're going to push it up, so this value here up will also impact here. So that is what we're basically doing. So now what I want to do is, this is an array, this has no value yet, but when I click on a specific item here, I want to know which position is being clicked, or which index specifically is clicked. So what I'm going to do here now is, let's say here, what do I need? Let me double think here. Do I need something specific? I'll be needing the clicks, and then we can just say here maybe the event. Let's see what we get here. If I'm not mistaken, we should get an index number. And if we look at it, we get this native, no, chart, no, nothing. All right. Hold on, let me double check. All right, so I already figured it out, quite straightforward. Remember, we have the click value here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a trick on this, and that's the reason why I had the scale prepared already. Almost forgot. When we click on one of these coordinates, I would like to translate whatever the value is into, or whatever the pixel is, into one of the values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I'm going to do here, well, basically we could do it in here. We can say here, we can convert this. So what I'm going to say here, constant convert x, basically click of the x. And then what I'm going to say here is we're going to say x, and this x from the scale, x dot scale. So, and then we're going to do a built-in functionality, which is get the pixel, or sorry, no, get the value of 4 pixel, what exactly? The argument of event x. We have this one here that is going to be converted. I'm going to grab this here now, and let's see what is the value of that. There we are. Let's click to, if I do here, you can see here it's just very straightforward. It's either 0 or it's just all these solid numbers. That's what I need. These numbers help me the position, but also the index in this case. So this is quite simple structure. So what I'm going to do here now is the following. I'm going to say here, let's see what I'm going to say here. Click, and then what I want to do here is convert, and this convert here will be equal to what exactly is, if we click on the value of that index, so convert, we'll say if this is, let's see here, convert will be equal to -10, or else we'll say it will be equal to convert. Let's see if this is correct, or do I have something missing here? Because what I want to do is either we get the value, I guess it's convert x, so whatever is the value of this will be inserted here or not. Let's confirm this just to make sure, and then we're going to say here convert x or click. We just see here where is the value, and the reason I'll explain later on why -10. So let's do this first. You can see 0, -10. The reason I'm doing -10 is we might have other numbers, but -10 will be off screen in this case, and everything else will be good. So for me, it's, as you can see here, if I click on this number 1 is here, but if I click again, it's a -10, so it will not be shown. Same here, if this is empty right now, click on it, it will be number 2, index number 2, and else it will be -10. Very straightforward. Now we have something that works. Alright, so now we have something that works. What we could do here is maybe is just to get the value of let's say click y, and I'll just do a hoisting as well. And then we say here click y will be equal to what exactly is to the arguments, the args dot event dot y. Once we have that one, I'm using this because maybe we want to move that in here. Probably I will remove that later on, but we'll see on that. Now I have this, I want to make sure that we can communicate to the drawing, to communicate or to redraw based on this new event. What I need to say here is args.change set to true. By doing this, we're basically telling in chart.js, if we have a click event, we want to redraw the chart. That's what we're basically doing here, redrawing it, and that will then redraw automatically, but only if it's within the if statement. So now we have that. Let's go on. And what we're going to do here is, well, first of all, we're going to say constant. Let's say equal chart. And then what do we need here? Well, let's see. We'll be needing the CTX because I want to draw on a canvas. I want to have the data. I want to have the, well, I guess the scales as well. Tooltip, probably not necessary. So we just leave it as it is. So once we did this, what I want to do now is say ctx.save to save all variables above, and then we can move on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to use this convert value that we have. We might need this as well. Let's see. Oh well, I'll just leave it as it is for now. So now what I want to do is I want to say when we click, we have this click array. I'm going to loop for each, and then we're going to say here for every is it the tooltip? I guess we can say tooltip item. We have an index, and then here a function arrow expression, and then in here we are going to look if the click, when we click, is being sent. Are we getting the data that we want? So let's do a console log and just say click. We should get the array of the click of the after event. So basically what happens after this event, we draw doing this. That's what we're doing here. Very straightforward. So I say click, there we are, click, and then you can see here's a lot of items here when we move. Should not be, but fair enough. Oh, because of the tooltip as well. Because of the tooltip, we're getting a lot of drawings. Anyway, doesn't matter. Leave it as it is for now. So now, what I want to do is start drawing the shapes. We're going to work with two shapes. We have, if you look at the tooltip, very straightforward. We have this rounded square, a rounded rectangle, and we have the caret, which is the triangle at the bottom. We're going to make two separate items or shapes, stick them together. So what we're going to do here is ctx.begin path. We say we're going to create a shape that's independent of anything else. Once we have this, we can say here now ctx.fillStyle, and this fill style will be the RGBA, and the RGBA will be the color of that tooltip, which is a bit of darkish. Basically it's black at 80% visibility. So then we say here 0, 0, 0, and 0.8 for 80% for the alpha value. Once we did that, we have that ready. Alright, so then we're going to say here ctx dot round rectangle, because we're going to create a rectangle with these edges. Remember what I did here down, corner radius. This is the number I will grab. I will just put a hard code. You could grab this one. In that case, we could do a tooltip here, tooltip, and then just grab that one, but I'll just leave it to make it very straightforward. So what I'm going to do here is put in the value. Here we need x, y, width, height, and then here the radius. Radius will be 6. And then here x and y, I'm just going to put in some numbers, and later on we have to make this intelligent. And knowing how many data points we have, do we need longer, smaller, whatever. So what I'm going to do here is just very basic. We're going to say here, this x value here will be what exactly, I guess. We need the value that I had here, or well, that value here, that's the convert x, specifically I guess the tooltip, or even the index in this case. I think we can even use index here because 0, this is the category axis, so we're allowed to do this. So what I'm going to say here, I'm going to grab this. Let's get this index for now. Maybe later on we can fine tune that one. So that's the first one. The next one is the y value, which will be the height. What is the position? So I'm going to say just 20 for now. The width, I'm going to make it 50, and then the height 50 as well. So then we have that. Let's see if we can get a shape. Then we're going to say ctx.fill to fill up the shape, to draw that one. Let's save this, and I'm just going to say here, this will be the cloud, or the cloud bubble. Here we will have the caret. Let's save that, refresh. Let's click. Alright, so as you can see here, something very interesting happens. It does not remove it. So we have some work to do. Alright, so we have that one. This change, if we click again, it should be converted into a -10. So it's just not showing. Well, we have to figure that one out. Alright, doesn't matter, but we have some parts working. So now what I want to do is just the caret for now. So we can at least do that. We can copy almost this setup. Same colors, everything else. Begin path, so it's independent of anything else. We have these items. This one will not have a rounded rectangle, but what this will do is we're going to draw a line. Starting one line from here down, or from down here, go there, and then there. That's it, like a triangle. So we're going to do say ctx.line2, or sorry, move2, which is the starting point. So the move2 here, that would be, well, let's say here 10 for now. You can say x10, or let's make x, I'll just give you, so you have a visual, 60. And then this will be 60 as well. So what happens then, basically, I will make somewhere here a item of maybe 100 by 100. All right, so somewhere here will be it. Then what I want to do is I want to go now to the left. So I'm going more to the left, but how many pixels to the left? Well, in this case, we're going to do about, we should have 5 pixels. So maybe 2.5, 2.5, or 5, 5. I think 5 is fair. So what I'm going to do here, where are you? There we are. Move to, that's it. So now I want to go up 5 pixels plus to the left 5 pixels. So what I can say here, officially, just -5. And this one, -5 as well. Why -5? If on the Y scale I'm going up, this is the closest to 0, and this is the closest to whatever the height is of the canvas. So going up is going to 0, so we're deducting the value. That's what we're doing here. So we're going to say this, but not move2 here, but line2. We're making a connecting line. The next connecting line is, maybe I'm going ahead of myself. This is, by the way, the x and y coordinates. So that's what I'm talking about here. So all of these are x and y coordinates. So the next one would be 160, but now I want to go to the right side. So I say +5. And then for this, I'll just keep this same position, because it's the same length. It's a straight line. Once I did that, I'm going to say close that. So I say ctx.close path, save, refresh, click. Oh, and there we are. Let me just hide my caret here. Tooltip enabled. Oh, I saw my tooltip. I'm just going to hide this. Enabled, false, save, comma, save, refresh, click. There we are. Click again. I am surprised. It should be responding, but it is apparently not responding, so I'm going to fix that one as well. So convert x, y, are we not seeing the value? Click. So this is 2, 2, 2. So every time there's a 2, or let's see, is it 2? Yes, that's the number 2 there. So, all right, I guess we have this here. What I need to do is I need to tell them when not to draw this. So probably need an if statement in here. So we have this here. So what I could do here is the following. I'm going to say here, we have this if, oh, no, not on this one, sorry. On this here. If tooltip item. So we're going to look at the tooltip item. As the value is bigger than -1. That's why I put it in a -10, because you have a 0. So bigger than more, starting from 0. We could say here is equal, well, you can do, I would say -1, and the main reason is because sometimes if you click here, you can see you get a -0. I don't know exactly how much is that. Might be a few decimal points below 0, but so that's why -1 will give you a safe zone. So we say if it is bigger than -1, and what we're going to do more here is, and the tooltip is not empty, so I say it's not equal to null, please draw our item. Very straightforward. Cut this, put it in here. Once we did that, I just remove this click here. No need. There we are. Save. Let's do it. Click. There we are. Beautiful. So you can see here, it does recognize, as it gets darker, it recognizes all these different items, meaning that once we have the right coordinates, this will work nicely. So we have all of these shapes here of the index. So we say for this one, what I will do for now is the hoisted value of click Y. We'll just put in here click Y. So this will be the starting point. This should not be later on. I need to figure that one out, but for now, I will accept this. So we have this and this. This here probably needs to be a bit more fine-tuned to match with the item here. But let's see it if this works. Click, click, click. All right, click Y makes us move up and down. And this one here is not moving as I expected. So we're going to figure that one out as well. So let's make sure that this is nicely attuned to each other. We have here 160. Maybe if this would go here, save. This there is almost at 0. Or am I correct? I don't know what it's doing. So get the value for the pixel. All right. This is the issue. It is not getting a value of a pixel because this is index 1, 2, 3. So that if that would be the pixel, sorry, my bad. If this is the pixel, it will be probably somewhere here because 1, 2, and 3 pixels. So what I need to do here is get the pixel for index value. That makes sense. You will see now this will work because then it will calculate this index, whatever this is, number 3, near the pixel coordinate. Save, refresh. There we are. As you can see here, it is quite nice. Of course, not really 100%. Start to look quite nice. Let's move this up and more in the center. So what I'm going to say here. If this, and that is of course a question mark, let's say we make it 100. So if this is 100, what do I need to do here is, I want this instead of 100 is basically going down. I need to move upwards. So what I'm going to say here is, I'll make this negative 100. Let's do that one first. So we should be moving it upwards. There we are. And then how many pixels more upwards? Well, if we have here 5 pixels difference, so I say here negative 105. Let's see if that works. No. Not really. Or was it negative 95? It's one or the other. Let's see. Let's see. Am I correct? This is the width or x, y, width, height. This one here, let's do this. I did 100, but maybe we need to do this 50. No, this is 100, but this one, we need to move it a little bit more, the half of the 100, and then later on I'll fine tune this. Let's see here. All right, if you look very carefully here, you might see it. I'm not sure. Let's make this red. There we are. All right, we're getting better. So maybe what we could do here is, instead of a negative 5, I'll just do a plus 5. So it's going more downwards, plus 5, plus 5. And this here, maybe plus 10. So pushing that 5 pixels more below. Let's see if that logic will work. All right, that doesn't work. I don't like this structure. Plus 5, or maybe this should only be 10. Let's see. No. All right, this is not what I should do. I will not play with that anymore. My bad. How do I push this square upwards? Negative 95, maybe negative 100. Let's do 110. All right, that. Oh, of course. Sorry, this is my bad. I need to pay attention here because this here defines the starting point on height. I just need to go this one 5 pixels up. So I say negative 5 to push it up. There we are. Now you can see it starts to work quite nice. Yes, there we are. Let's convert the color. Yeah, as you can see here, now we're getting somewhere, but it still matches its y coordinates. This still needs to be fine-tuned, and if you look very carefully here, it's chopping off here. That needs to be fine-tuned as well. However, if I go, let's close that. If I stop that, refresh, we click, and you can see here now we have these fixed tooltips. They look quite nice. Of course, we need some text in here. Let me just do some basic text, and then after that, I will stop this video. So we're going to say, yeah, text. I'm going to make an icon. Let's do that one. That's probably the most exciting part of it. So we're going to say here, you can do either a text or circle or rect, whatever you want. You can do more things, but of course I'll just do the basic ones because this is a circle point. It just makes sense to have this as a circle as well. So what I'm going to do here is a ctx.begin path. Let's start to make that one straight away. Then I'm going to say here, what I want to do is let's get a fill style, and then I'm going to do here a stroke style. That is for the borderline, basically. I'll make this one white. I'm going to explain to you later on why. Well, I can show you right away. If I hover, you can see here this, and this is a slightly transparent color, but this is a blackish color. So what would happen if they would blend together? It would make this dark. So what I need to do is I need to make a square or a shape white, fitting exactly that specific border box or color box. That's it. So what I'm going to say here, ctx.arc to draw a circle. And then I'm going to say here for the arc will be x and y. Then we have the radius. And then we have angle start, angle end. And then finally counterclockwise, yes or no. In this case, just set it to false. Doesn't matter here. We just want a full circle. For this one, angle start will be 0. For this one will be the angle multiplied by 360. So now we wonder, what is the angle? Well, let's make that one. Constant angle is math.pi divided by 180 degrees. And the reason why is 1 pi is a half circle, so 2 pi is 360. So 1 pi divided by 180 degrees, we get 1 degree. Multiplied by 360 is a full circle. Alright, so we have this white. Then what I'm going to do here now is ctx.fill, save, refresh. Let's click. Alright, what is the exact coordinates? We have no coordinates, of course. Let's make this 5 over radius. And then coordinates here, let's get something. And then from there on, we just look what we can find. Alright. Save, refresh. Alright, so you have this. Where is the circle? I guess the circle is almost here down. You can see the caret looks weird. So what I'm going to do here is this minus, to push it up, 20. Sorry, that is push it more to the left. And then here for the y, minus 20, save. Click, there we are. So what we have to do is we have to move it up somewhere depending on whatever the size is of our tooltip. So I'll just make this 40 by 40. I think we are then. Are we good there? Well, I guess that's something. So what I'm going to do next is just to make another shape. And on this shape, what I will do is make the color, but what I want to do is the color, I want to grab the data to get the specific color here. So whatever that color is that I click on, we get the border color and we get the background color matching. Makes sense. So what I'm going to say here for the fill style, this will be data.datasets. And right now I'm just going to get dataset index 0 because this is the first one. We can do another one. We can do a loop for that, but let's leave it as this. Border, that's the fill style, so that's the background color. So I'm going to say here background color, and then here what would be this, the index. So I can grab this for the white, for the border color, because this is the stroke designed for the lines. So I say border index. All right, so once I have that, maybe we want to have a thickness for the border. So I'm going to say a ctx.line width. Give it maybe a 2 pixel border thickness. All right, let's click. If you're seeing it, you might see it very, very lightly, and the reason why is we don't have fill. I need to draw the line, so I'm going to say ctx.stroke to draw those lines. Save, refresh, click. Oh, there we are. Absolutely phenomenal. We could even add the text in here if we wanted. Let's do a basic text. ctx fonts, of course. Then we're going to say 12 pixels. Do we want it bold? Let's make it bold. And then the font family will be sans serif. That is the default font that chartjs uses, and bold, or well, bold, they don't use bold unless on the title, I guess. In this case, here just normal, and this will just be white. You can remove that if you want. 12 pixels is the standard font. And I'm going to say here, fill style. Do we want to have the color of the text in the matching item, or just make it white? Let's do it white. Then I'm going to say ctx.fill text, and then the fill text will indicate the, first of all, the text, then the X and Y position. So the text here is, well, let's see, what is the text here? I guess we can just get, I'm not sure what, let's say the label, and then maybe the value or the weekly sale. I'm not sure. You can just select one. So what I'm going to do is going to get the label. So data.labels, that is the path, then index. For the position, we're going to play around with that one. So I just don't know where it will position itself. So let's grab this. That was the circular position. We just put it in here, and after we can find it. Save, click. Wednesday. All right, so you can see it looks quite nice. So what I want to do here, maybe since the circle had a radius of 5, meaning it's total of 10, so let's move our text of 10 more, or maybe 5. It's one or the other. No, should not do minus, of course. So if it's 40 and you want to move it 10 more to the right, you reduce the amount because this side going to the right is a higher value. Click, 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 down here. All right, it starts to look quite nice, but it still needs a lot of fine tuning. But the text is starting to show nicely.